Okay, so for those that don't know us, ASIMOV is all about verified knowledge, right? Verified, trusted knowledge, especially around AI and LLMs. So last week we talked about Positron, which is our first kind of end user product that allows you to actually use an LLM and presents an MCP server that can interrogate your own personal data, so your Telegram, your email, all that lot. That's all great. But trying to do demos of that and research on that is a little bit tricky because it's personal data, right? And the whole point about ASIMOV is that it keeps that personal data local. So we needed something to kind of test, okay, more public data. And speaking of hackathons, we then took the opportunity to use a Google hackathon, actually 2 Google hackathons around AI that were going on to build something. So as you know, I'm based in Barbados. My eldest daughter, Katie, is back in the UK. She's an aspiring developer, moved over from education to tech a few years ago. And so we took this opportunity to work together on building something using the concepts from ASIMOV. So we created a thing called Yuh Hear Dem. And what Yuh Hear Dem does is it takes all of the hours and hours and hours, about 8,000, I believe it is, hours of video recordings from the Barbados Parliament sessions and builds a knowledge graph of them using all of the concepts that we are doing in ASIMOV, and gives you an AI in which you can then converse with them. So you can go to the site, it's live at the moment, yuheardem.com, and you can ask it a question. So what's happened recently about the economy? And it will come out and give you information here and even a direct link that you can click on that will take you to the YouTube video, to the exact point in the video where the point was made. Now, one of the great things that we sort of learned out of this was, as you can see here, when I've asked about recent stuff and it's come back and it's talking about 2023. So one of the things is that it hasn't got that good a appreciation of sort of temporal awareness. And also I can actually, there's a sort of a hidden command here where I can bring up the knowledge graph behind the scenes. So the next iteration of that, we are actually using something that's going on in the background here, which is doing deduplication of entities in the knowledge graph using AI. So it's going through here and saying that, for example, independence is the same concept as constitutional independence. Previously, it treated them as 2 separate things, whereas here it's saying, actually, no, those are the same concept together, right? So if I go and ask exactly the same question on the version that we have now in development, then it'll come up and show here, as it works away here, much more recent stuff. So it talks about 2025. And like I said, I can click on there and it'll bring you straight up to the video in which they talk about it. And not only that, the knowledge graph is much richer now and much better connected because we're deduplicating. So we've gone from an average of about 1.5 relationships per entity to about 3.5 relationships per entity on average here. So that's what we've been working on. Launched that this week. Actually launched it on Father's Day, on Sunday, Father's Day in the UK with my daughter. So that was really cool.